So today morning I woke up. Actually, technically, my dog woke me up, and I was in half sleep, and she was scratching the door, and I just walked up to her, and gave her food and everything. I patted her, played with her, and I couldn't sleep after that. So my head sort of got into this thought pattern of, oh shit, I'm 35. At max, if I do live in this body till 70, then that makes me right now, I'm in midlife. And then my mind went into all of the things that I haven't achieved yet, as an artist, especially as a creative. It's all the goals and everything that I want to experience. There's so many things that I've not even scratched the surface yet. And then I'm like, what should I do? Where should I go? Who should I get in touch with? And all of that desperate thinking, anxious thinking is what it got into. And after a while, I'm like, wait, hang on. I don't know exactly where it snapped, but something in my head snapped, and I closed my eyes and I started to take deep breaths, because I always center around breathing. I just naturally do that now. And somewhere along the line, I just visualized this current loop of pattern of thinking as a fishing net, and I just pulled it in through it. So I have this imaginary black hole, which is like a vacuum cleaner for all of the thought patterns which pulled me out of alignment, and that's where I threw the fishing net. And I did it a couple of times. All of these thought patterns that were making my present anxious and fearful, and that's exactly what I did. It's my constant practice. It's been for a while, and it worked like magic. And I'm like, whew, that was good. I deserve that. And I broke into a smile. And whenever I break into a smile, I know I am right back on track with everything. Because there are two things that I wanted to share here. First thing is being aware of the thought pattern that keeps me out of alignment or pulls me out of alignment, and working with that, navigating that, releasing it, acknowledging it, releasing it, and all of that. And the second thing is, when I have infinite intelligence on my side, why am I trying to do everything? That just means that I, in that moment, have lost trust, which generally speaking is not true. Okay, I do trust spirit a lot. In fact, if there is one relationship which is my most favorite relationship and my topmost relationship, it is my relationship with spirit. But sometimes, fears and old conditioning can pull me out of it all the time. In fact, every day I recalibrate, every day, all the time. For years I've lived like that, and I choose to live like that forever. It doesn't matter how many years it takes me to be living in alignment more and more frequently. I'm going to keep doing it because I realized it's totally worth it. Anyway, I went sidetracked. Coming back to the point that I have intelligence, infinite intelligence on my side, planning my life for me. All I need to do is follow inspired action, which I'm good at, by the way. I trust myself on that. I'm confident about that aspect of myself. I'm good with inspired action. I am good with following my intuition, and I have. But when I get into that space of, oh, I need to do everything. It's my life. I'm the creator of my own destiny. Okay, there's no problem in the idea of I create my own destiny, because I do. I'm the one who's taking the inspired action. I'm the one who's following up on everything. But personally, for me, I used to look at it in a very, very pressurizing way. So for me, it helps me to stay away from that concept, because I used to look at it like, oh, I'm by myself and this is my life and I have to do everything, from A to Z. And so that way, it had a flawed premise. It had a flawed clarity, understanding. So I try to kind of balance it out with saying that, oh, I have infinite intelligence on my side, and if I'm meant to experience something outside of me, it's gonna happen. And the way that I look at it is that at the end of it, I want any and everything in my life because it makes me feel uplifted, it makes me feel free, it makes me feel love, it makes me feel joyful, it makes me feel good and expansive and curious and all of the good stuff. And that is the reason that I want it. But I can't get there by following with the intention or the mindset of anxiety. It just doesn't work. I've tried living like that. Yeah, it doesn't work. So I'm not going to get into the details of it. So what really works is, feeling good leads to feeling good. Basically, it's very simple. It's not complicated. What gets complicated is, how I define feeling good, which I have been doing for a really long time. Oh Jesus, I've sidetracked again. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, I was watching this show yesterday. It was about an athlete, and he was practicing and preparing for a 7-minute race, and he was practicing for months or a year, for those 7 minutes. And it is so true, especially for artists. The gig might be for like a couple of minutes, but you practice for 6 months, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. Same goes for artists. The actual showdown time is always a fraction of the entire journey, and I want to enjoy my journey. I know, because if I'm not enjoying my journey, then those few minutes I do not enjoy, and it's just like full of pressure and full of anxiety, and it's just like, what's even the point? What's the point of getting accolades for, or getting awarded and acknowledged when you're feeling shitty on the inside, or you're feeling numb? It's not something that I want to experience again. I've already experienced it and I'm good. So I'm somebody who wants to experience feeling good in the journey, and even though I will still feel anxious and scared, but I'll still smile because I'll still feel something, and that's good enough for me. Even if I'm like scared, I feel good, and I feel something even if I'm not feeling good, and that's good enough for me. So that's what I'm reaching for. And so after doing that surrender practice of dropping my fishing net into the black hole, my favorite place on the earth, where I put all the thoughts and thought patterns that do not serve me anymore, into the ocean or into the black hole. Yeah. So because the ocean is my subconscious mind, so I don't go there. I go there for different reasons. Yeah, and I started to feel better, and I started to feel good, and I started listening to music on shuffle. I found a new playlist, which was a really cool playlist, and I loved the words. And I knew, at the moment I broke into a smile, I knew that I was back on track and back in alignment, and what was actually bubbling up within me in the morning was something that was ready to be released. This is how I choose to look at it. Whenever something, I do wake up sometimes when I wake up confused and lost, or I wake up upset. Sometimes it's not because of a dream or something, feelings come up, and then I hold space for them, and then I release them, and then I'm back on track. I'm in alignment, and that's all I can do, and that's all I want to do. And everything else just happens as a consequence of that alignment and of that feeling good place. Because really what I have to offer to another person is holding space for them, being who they are. And I intend to spread upliftment, I intend to spread support and acceptance for people. That's what I intend to do. I've always intended to do that. It's just over the years, as I've understood myself and I've been working on myself, it's gotten easier for me to do that for somebody, even to the point where they are sometimes not ready for it, because a lot of times, and if you are somebody who loves to uplift other people, will do anything to make the other person feel good, do stupid stuff, dance on your head or whatever, sometimes the other person in front of you is not ready to receive you, and then they'll say things and do things which might end up hurting you, and that is a topic for another day. It's a really good topic, so I'll make another video on it, but I guess today I just wanted to say this. I hope the audio is clear because I just like to randomly spontaneously shot this. I'll put in subtitles obviously, but I think I've said everything.